So today I decided to take the dog out and get him some exercise, even though it's a nasty day out. But I thought I'd also take the time to talk about my 2020 Ford F250 with the Tremor package, since it's about 6 months since I bought it. In the video, I'd like to go over the things I like about it, things I don't like about it. Previously, I did a review on my four-wheel camper that you see up on the back of it. You can go ahead and check that out at the link above, or the link in the description below. The thing I really love about this truck is obviously the Tremor package that it comes with. The fact that from factory I get 35-inch tires, a 2-inch lift in the back, kind of like a level in the front, maybe just under 2 inches, but it fits the 35 is fine. A little bit of a lift there, or a level lift. And then you also get the locking rear differential and the shorter front bumper up here. So this gives you more ground clearance. A normal F250 bumper would come down lower, give you a little bit better gas mileage, but I'm looking for that ground clearance myself. What's nice about the Tremor package for me is that it's really turnkey. I got this thing straight from the dealer, as is, with the tires, the locker, the suspension, all those off-road bits that fits me well as someone who does a lot of roads like this, which aren't real hard four-wheeling, but you know, enough that little bit of extra ground clearance, the tires, you know, the all-terrain tires from factory, that's just really what I'm looking for. So it saves me money, because for $3 grand I wouldn't be able to get as nice a job done. I mean, there's definitely kits out there where you can get, basically turn this thing into a Ford Raptor like suspension, but I don't need that for the type of camping and four-wheeling, hunting and fishing that I like to do. And the other thing too is that an F250 for me to carry this four-wheel camper is perfect. This has 3,000 pounds of load capacity and handles this thing like it's not even there. I had this camper on an F150 before, and the F150 could do it. I was basically maxing it out payload wise, but now having all this payload and having the off-road package, it's truly perfect for me. I mean, this particular truck even came with a Rhino liner from the factory, which is really nice. I like it quite a bit. The other thing too is that beyond just carrying the camper, if the camper's off, I have the 6.5 foot bed and the quad cab, ton of storage. I put kayaks back there, hunting stuff, fishing stuff. I love being able to have a full-size adult in the back seat for long extended trips. Really having a big truck for me is perfect. I know not everyone is probably going to want something this big. That's probably the main con to this, is that it is with the camper, you know, pushing upwards 8, 9, even 10,000 pounds fully loaded. And it's, you know, quite long, just 20 feet and 10 inches long. So parking this is definitely not as easy as my F150, which had an extended cab, and certainly not as easy as a Ford Ranger, Tacoma, any of the mid-size trucks. So it really depends on what you're doing. If you're not carrying a big camper, you're not carrying a lot of weight. My girlfriend owns a horse, and we'll tow her horse trailer, and that could be loaded up to 7,000 pounds. So the F250 fits my use case a lot, but it may not fit yours. You know, they're coming out with the Tremor package on the F150 and the Ranger. Toyota has their off-road packages, Chevy has the ZR2. There's all kinds of options out there. It's really just whatever fits you best, and for me, it's this F250. The other thing that I really like about this truck is that it comes with the 7.3 gas engine with a 10-speed transmission. It's a ton of power, handles great. It really is a great platform. Time will tell if it's reliable, but it's supposedly designed as that detuned big bore engine that it should be very reliable, just like the 6.2 gas was. Even though I do tow the horse trailer every long now and then, I don't do a ton of sustained towing like RV towing or towing stuff to the work site, so I didn't need the diesel for that added expense. For me, the gas is nice because it gives me more payload. I could fit a ton of stuff in that camper and still tow a trailer with the tongue weight. And the gas is also a little bit easier to find than diesel, I've been finding. But I've never wanted for power. This 7.3 gas actually has more torque and horsepower than the 7.3 diesel that Ford had in the late 90s. So it's pretty impressive what they're doing nowadays with today's technology. All right, I got my dog loaded up. Let's get this thing started and get out of here. I will say that if you're vertically challenged, this probably is not the best truck for you. 4-wheel high. I've got slippery mode turned on for our drive out of here. Even though it's a big truck, it handles quite nicely. I can't complain at all about how this thing drives. The steering's really light, and it doesn't feel like you're driving in a heavy-duty truck on 35s, and the power's there. I will say that one of the main, things I don't like about the truck is how harsh the ride is. It's not terrible. It's definitely better than older heavy-duty trucks. My grandfather had a '99 diesel F250 on his ranch back in the day, and that had the front leaf springs, and that thing rode like a brick on wheels without suspension. But this truck certainly is not as plush a ride as a F150 or any similar half-ton truck. That being said, it's never been a problem for me. When I have the camper in the back, it actually rides a lot nicer than when it's unloaded because of those heavy-duty leaf springs. I would compare this to maybe a Power Wagon, which would have a lot nicer ride, more off-road capability, but I'd be sacrificing that payload, and that payload was really what drove me to get a Ford Tremor. So I'm just gonna have to live with the ride. The other thing is, of course, this being so big, it's not as easy to drive around cities or to park, but honestly, I'm willing to take that trade-off for all the payload and cargo capacity that this thing gives me now. In addition, I don't, of course, in addition, you can imagine that the gas bill in this thing is not great. I'm showing fuel economy at 12 miles per gallon right now. That's a lot of idle time trying to clear snow and ice off of it. I've been finding that on the highway with the camper, I can get around 13 miles to the gallon. Without the camper, I'll get 14, maybe even 15 on a long highway drive if I'm really trying to push my gas mileage. Again, it's another thing where I'm willing to take the trade-off and the expense of the fuel mileage for all the capability that I'm getting. I've driven this thing down to Virginia and up to Vermont so far, and this year I'm hoping to do some trips out to South Dakota, Montana, do some hunting and fishing around the country, and really this is the only platform where I can comfortably travel with 2 other adults and go on a hunting trip, or go with my girlfriend and the dog and bring all of our stuff in the camper. So overall, I'm very happy with the truck. Like I said, you could compare this to a Power Wagon. If I didn't have a camper, that would be a really great option to come with the front locker and a little bit softer suspension. But for what I'm doing, if you do a lot of towing or you got a haul camper, there's no from the factory as good as off-roading truck that I'm aware of than a Ford F250 or F350 Tremor, depending upon how much truck you need for your use case. I will say that, kind of in the same vein as not having a camper, if I didn't have a camper and I was doing a lot of tent camping, or if I lived in a city, then I would definitely be looking at maybe a Ford Ranger or a similar truck or something like that. But overall, if you like the video, please like it, and feel free to subscribe. I'll be doing more videos about the truck, camping, hunting, fishing than I do out of it. And leave any comments below if you have any more questions specifically about the truck that I didn't address, or anything else. Let me know.